Welcome back to the daily morning gossip feeds on Fiddler Channel, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's find out Pablo Escobar net worth, fortune and especially biography of his life. What was the net worth of Pablo Escobar? Pablo Escobar was a Colombian-born drug kingpin, who had an estimated value of around $30 billion over his entire life. In his lifetime, Pablo Escobar ran one of the most notorious and violent drug cartels of all time, the Medellin drug cartel. At its height of strength, it was believed that the Medellin cartel controlled around 80% of the cocaine market worldwide. In the process, Pablo and his cartel were the cause of many thousands, and possibly hundreds of thousands of murders. A lot of the murders were innocent civilians. Early life. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born in Rio Negro, Colombia, on 1 December 1949 in Rio Negro, Colombia. The third child of 7, Escobar was the son of farmer Abel de Jesus Dari Escobar Echeverri and teacher Hilda de los Dolores Gaviria Barrio. Escobar was born in Medellin, which is where he was believed to have began his criminal life in the teen years. The gravestones he sold were used for resale to local muggers, as well in selling fake diplomas. Escobar was a student at the Universidad Autónoma Latinoamericana for a brief period, but did not graduate with the degree. In the early 70s, Escobar increased his criminal activities with partner Oscar Benel Aguirre, running small-scale scams and selling illegal goods ranging including fake cigarettes and fake lottery tickets. Escobar earned $100,000 from kidnapping and holding the Medellin executive as ransom in this time. Criminal career. 1975 was the year that Pablo began his huge cocaine operation, dubbed the Medellin Cartel. He owned more than 24 planes, which included the Learjet as well as 6 helicopters that he used for smuggling cocaine through Colombia, Panama, and routes throughout all of the United States. Escobar would purchase cocaine in Peru that was then transferred to a laboratory where it would be refined, and then transferred to airplane tires. Pilots could earn as much as $500,000 USD per flight to smuggle the drug. In the mid-80s, demand for cocaine was extremely high throughout the United States and the Medellin cartel controlled more than 80% of cocaine trafficked into the country. It was making about $420 million every week. The cartel brought in an average of 15 tons a day. Escobar himself was already an estimated net worth of $30 billion. He was also among the top 10 richest people on the planet. In the midst of his criminal career, Escobar was considered a hero for the people of Medellin and especially to those who were poor, but at that time, he had started to be pursued by officials from both the U.S. and Colombian governments. He managed to win over Medellin citizens by creating the appearance of as a superhero, building sports fields and sponsoring youth football teams, building houses and dispersing funds through community events. A lot of citizens helped Pablo to avoid arrest by acting as watchmen and bribing authorities. Reign of Terror. Pablo's fame grew into an era of terror for his native nation of Colombia. Escobar was elected to the Congress of Colombia in 1982, but he couldn't conceal his enormous wealth or the reasons behind it from being revealed. He was forced to quit in the following year as was the judge that disclosed his family background was later killed. When he realized that his goal of becoming the president of Colombia was not going to come true, Pablo Escobar unleashed fury on his political adversaries and was the one responsible for the deaths of thousands of journalists, politicians, civil servants, journalists and innocent people. Prison and death. Following the assassination of Escobar's cartel Luis Carlos Galán, a liberal journalist and politician who ran for president twice and was a major threat to drug cartels that were in the process of being destroyed, the government made important moves to catch Escobar. The government and he reached a compromise and an agreement to stop all criminal activities with the promise of less severe sentence. Escobar was released to the authorities in the year 1991. In the meantime, there was no possibility Escobar would be sent into America for his crimes because it was forbidden in the brand new Colombia Constitution in 1991. Escobar is jailed in his own private prison that was called La Catedral. The prison was the pinnacle of luxury, with a football pitch, bar, jacuzzi as well as an eddy. The Medellin cartel was still run by him. Medellin cartel from inside and prompted the government to relocate the prison to a standard one at the end of July in 1992. Pablo fled and was at large, hiding from a tiny army comprised of Colombian drug officers, DEA agents, and American Special Forces soldiers. He was killed by a gun on the roof of an apartment building in 1993. A total of 25,000 people attended to the funeral in Medellin. However, the death of Escobar was more of a comfort to his homeland as well as the entire world at large. Money, wealth. If Pablo was still alive, and when his cartel growing, he hired 10 accountants to assist in laundering millions of dollars of illicit currency. The report says that he spent $2,500 per month on rubber bands that he used to secure the entire amount of money. This is enough to purchase 250,000 rubber bands per month. Since much of the money was stored in walls and basements, Pablo was supposedly forced to write off $500 million of cash each year due to spoilage. Spoilage could be caused by fires or water damage. However, the most common cause was the plight of rats who consumed the cash believing they were eating. In one instance, while Pablo was in hiding, he made an offer to repay the entire national debt, amounting to over $10 billion, in the event that they could pass a law to prohibit extradition. Forbes magazine first pegged Pablo's fortune at around $1 billion back in 1987, as part of their first list of the world's billionaires. In the profile, Pablo's earnings up at the time had been estimated as $3 billion. This is the same as about $8 billion today in dollars, after inflation adjustments. He was named on the list billionaires around the world every year for the coming 7 years. In the 1980s, Pablo Panamanian general and leader Manuel Noriega an estimated $350 million to store billions of dollars in bank accounts of the country. After the relationship deteriorated and the money of Pablo was frozen, the cartel was said to have issued a contract worth $1 million out for Noriega's life. Personal life. Escobar was married to the 15-year-old Maria Victoria Henao in March 1976, at the age of 26. Naturally, the marriage was viewed as a scandal by her family, and the couple secretly got married. The couple had 2 kids including son Juan Pablo, who later changed his name to Sebastian Marroquin, and daughter Manuela. Pablo is believed to have had several relationships throughout his marriage. Pop culture. Pablo Escobar's journey has inspired numerous books, films and television shows that chronicle his cocaine-related career. The most notable of these is Netflix's Narcos, was launched in August of 2015 and follows the search for Escobar. The big-budget films like 2001's Blow, Escobar, and American-made also graced the big screen. Pablo had 4 hippos at the time his death. However, by the year 2007 the hippos had grown to 16. National Geographic produced a documentary about them. It was titled Cocaine Hippos. Thank you for listening and following Fidlar's Daily News. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest gossip news.